What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Vince McMahon throws huge shade at AEW. The network is not happy with WWE losing Daniel Bryan. A major sponsor is upset with AEW. A Hall of Famer is quietly fired. A former WWE champion misses Brock Lesnar. Becky returns her old look and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at Vince McMahon saying that AEW is not competition. Now, top in the news today is the WWE's recent conference call with investors, where it not only boasted of its latest profits, but also saw Vince McMahon dismiss All Elite Wrestling as competition. Here's what Vinnie Mac had to say. Well, it's certainly not a situation or rising tide, because that was when Ted Turner was coming after us with all that Time Warner's assets as well. That was a different situation. AEW is where they are. I don't really know what their plans are. I only know what our plans are. I don't consider them competition in a way I would consider WCW back in the day. Not anywhere close to that. WWE President Nick Khan added to the conversation, discussing who the WWE sees as competition. Everything is our competition. So someone had a line a couple of weeks ago that we all chuckled about and agreed with. Sleep is our competition. If it was up to us, people could be up 24 hours a day watching content from different content providers, hopefully including ours. So we don't look at any organization particularly as a competition, yet we see everything as competitive with what we're trying to do in terms of eyeballs. There's no question that the WWE has been trying for years to position itself as an entertainment company rather than a wrestling promotion, whether it's its ventures into film, music, or reality television. At the same time, the WWE is still seen as a wrestling business and derives the majority of its income from said product. As such, it can't ignore AEW, which continues to grow. Do you think AEW is serious competition for the WWE? Let us know in the comments down below. Vince also threw some real shade at AEW. Vince McMahon's chat also saw the WWE Kingpin throw some shade at AEW, subtly commenting on AEW's recent acquisition of a number of recently released talent as well as free agents. And I'm not so sure what their investments are as far as their talent is concerned, but perhaps we can give them some more. Vince McMahon's words may come back to haunt him, as we'll see in our next story. As the network is upset with WWE over the loss of Daniel Bryan. While Vince McMahon is dismissive of AEW to investors, which comes as no surprise as there are rumors that Vince is upset about Daniel Bryan heading to AEW, and he's not alone, as the Madman Pro Wrestling podcast Andrew Zarian is reporting the network executives are upset, not only about Bryan heading to AEW, but Punk as well. First, let's see what Zarian is reporting about the WWE's reaction to the potential signings. There are a lot of rumors that Vince is very upset and management is very angry. How could these two go? I think Daniel Bryan is a disappointment for them, CM Punk not so much. There's no buzz that I'm hearing coming from the office said that we'd effed up by not signing him. There's a lot of people that think his stock is not what it normally would be. They think his UFC loss hurt him. A lot of people worked with him when he was very unhappy, and I think that's the memory they have. I'm saying from management, I'm not the talent. I think the talent knows what a big deal this is. At least one of WWE TV's partners are not taking the signings lightly, with Zarian reporting a certain network is not happy about the CM Punk stuff. WWE, they're not very concerned about CM Punk. They know it's a big get for AEW, but they were not negotiating to bring him. However, I would say that Daniel Bryan is a big hit for them. Next up, a major sponsor is upset with AEW. An AEW Fight for the Fallen's No Rules match between Chris Jericho and Nick Gage was very well received by AEW fans, but not by AEW sponsor Domino's. In case you missed it, Gage took a pizza cutter and sliced Jericho's head open at one point in the main event. The spot couldn't have come at a worse time, as AEW aired a commercial for Domino's Pizza, including a spot where a pizza cutter sliced a pizza. The unintentional timing, at least we hope so, led to a strong response from Domino's, which is a major sponsor for TNT, the network which airs Dynamite. A Domino's spokesperson told Front Office Sports, "We share the concerns expressed about this incident and the content of this TV-14 rated program, and are assessing our advertising presence on it going forward. The segment could harm AEW if Domino's does pull its ads, particularly if it pulls them from TNT entirely. While AEW reportedly obtained TNT's permission to air the violent match, it's unlikely anyone from Domino's was informed." Next up, WWE's secret plans for Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross's Raw debut on 19th July had some fans befuddled after the NXT champion, who's been booked as an absolute monster on the brand, lost to Jeff Hardy in just a number of minutes. Kross fans weren't just cross about Karrion's unexpected loss, but by the absence of his valet Scarlett. However, according to Andrew Zarian, it's all part of WWE's plans for Kross on the Red brand. Karrion Kross was supposed to lose again to Jeff Hardy in the rematch and then finally go berserk. I'm not 100% on this, but I was told the plan was that Karrion Kross keeps losing until Scarlett shows up, and that's going to bring him back on track because she's able to unleash the warrior, whatever they're calling the gladiator in him. According to the Madman Wrestling podcast main man Andrew Zarian, the plan was for Kross to lose his rematch with Hardy, leading to Scarlett eventually showing up to help him. Regrettably, Hardy tested positive for COVID-19, scrapping the rematch plans altogether. Zarian also noted, "When I spoke to somebody over there, they were like, yeah, I don't understand why people are freaking out on the internet. It's leading to something. Why don't people understand? We're telling a story. The match doesn't matter, the story matters." Kross defeated Keith Lee on Raw this week, and hopefully that doesn't mean the WWE has nixed its plans for Scarlett to reunite with Kross. Next up, a WWE Hall of Famer has been quietly fired. It looks like WWE's quietly fired WWE Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett. In an exclusive report by What Culture, they indicated that Double J Jeff Jarrett was released by the WWE last April. Jarrett is said to be under a non-compete clause, but rumor has it he's already looking for work once he's free. Next up, a former WWE champion misses Brock Lesnar. Now, Brock Lesnar hasn't been in WWE since WrestleMania 36, and former WWE champion Seth Rollins tweeted that he misses the Beast incarnate. Rollins included a video of Lesnar laying him out backstage along with this message: "I miss Brock." Now, you may recall rumors that Lesnar may have signed a deal with a company besides the WWE or AEW, and one rumor is that Lesnar is headed back to UFC, but that should still be considered a wild rumor at best. Next up, a Natalya update. A good news to report on WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Natalya, who was injured during a tag team bout against Doudrop and Eva Marie on this week's Raw. Meltzer's reporting she got an MRI after the match. Evidently the results were better than expected, as we're told she's only expected out for a few weeks, so they also may not strip her and Tamina of the tag team titles, which would be necessary if she needed surgery. Again, we wish Natalya a full and fast recovery. And finally, Becky Lynch returns to her old look. Last but not least, everything that's old is new again, at least in the case of WWE superstar Becky Lynch, who posted a picture of herself with her classic long orange wavy hair. Ringside News is reporting Lynch won't be back until at least the WWE draft, but it's good to see her preparing for her in-ring return. But there you have it guys, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.